Hey YouTube, it's Taylor. Um, I just wanted to read from a book that I have about INFJs because I've been watching some more INFJ videos and I've really liked when people have read out from different books about INFJs. I don't know, it's been interesting to see what different academic people have said about the types. And yeah, so let's do that. Ooh, just know how to daydream there. The cool thing about this book is that it has like development through the different ages, and for me that was good to read because since I'm 17, some of these descriptions I know feel a little bit different to what I'm experiencing right now. So if you're a teenager out there, maybe you can relate to this if you're an INFJ. Hopefully. Yeah. So I'll read childhood, adolescence, early adulthood, and midlife. They do have some age guidelines. Childhood, it says about 6 to 12. Here we go. INFJ children are quiet, independent, sensitive, and very imaginative. The dominant function, introverted intuition, develops during childhood, so they spend a lot of time alone, allowing the imagination to take them to magical kingdoms, faraway places, and other worlds. They often have a favourite place in their room or cubby house where they can be alone. Many INFJ children have imaginative terry playmates and talk to fairies in the garden. I didn't have an imaginary playmate, but I have nothing against that. Many INFJ children enjoy making things that are related to their fantasies, drawing images from their imagination, or thinking up names for their imaginary friends. They often have intense feelings. Now, this sentence is really weird, so be free to interpret it as how you want it to be. They often have intense feelings like dragons and monsters that come from the depth that they have to learn to control. I don't know, but there we go. Interesting writing. INFJ children enjoy reading books, writing and reading poetry, drama, and dreaming about the future and how things could be better for people. Yeah, definitely. They're not always interested in toys and may remember little of the detail of their childhood. They may not be interested in practical tasks and routine. So this is adolescence, and I found this section really interesting. So about 13 to 20. During adolescence, INFJs become more outgoing as they develop their extroverted feeling. They will often become popular and enjoy parties. I don't enjoy the real teenage drinking parties, but here it says, but will find the interaction drains their energy, and that's really true. Definitely. They need to connect with other people at this age and feel very responsible for people. Yep. They may become quite distressed when they hear stories of tragedy and suffering. I don't even watch the news. It's too much for me. Why can't they just say happy things on the news? But, yeah. Some will volunteer for community service. At this time, their values are developing and they are learning to base decisions on their own personal values. They may begin to question the values of their parents and teachers. Yeah, I increasingly find myself doing that. INFJs often see their future career as a vocation, focusing on what they can do for others through counseling, teaching, or spiritual work. They need to speak and respond positively to guidance from adults who understand them and encourage them to be themselves. They're often involved in drama and usually have a good social life and do well academically. I can relate to most of that. So this is early adulthood from about 20 to 35. During this time, the third function, introverted thinking, emerges. INFJs will spend a lot of time thinking things through, analyzing situations, and making more logical decisions as they become more independent. Now they can logically justify decisions that may previously have been based on gut feelings. They may feel tension between maintaining harmony and following their own beliefs and ideals. The sensitive and caring personality of the INFJ will continue during adulthood, but now the INFJ will become more assertive and less concerned about offending others. At times they may even appear aggressive as they begin to take charge of their own lives and feel a greater sense of freedom to be themselves. And midlife, 35 to 55. During midlife, the fourth function, introverted sensing, will develop. Now INFJs turn their attention to the outer reality of facts, details, and sensory experience. They become more observant of details in nature and may engage in activities that stimulate the senses, such as planting trees or lavenders, gem collecting, fossicking, sport, or carpentry. In some cases, these activities will inspire them to write poetry. Sometimes the sensing is expressed in surprising ways, like dancing on the table or mischievous behavior. INFJs need to be careful that all this activity does not lead to burnout. INFJs at midlife will be more comfortable living in the present and creating a harmonious environment, removing clutter from their surroundings and using colors that harmonize. So yeah, that's development for INFJs according to this book. Another really interesting thing I liked was our behavior under stress, because that definitely changes. It says here, extroverted sensing is usually the least developed function of the INFJ and the one most likely to get out of control under stress. When stressed, the INFJ may lose sense of space and details and become confused or focus on unimportant details. Often they will withdraw until they work out how to respond. That's true for me. They may go to sleep, watch a lot of TV, or cry alone. Under extreme stress, INFJs may have angry outbursts, make endless lists, or do a lot of physical activity like house cleaning. If this happens, they will lose energy and may have problems with insomnia or weight change. They become emotionally exhausted and even ill, needing long periods of rest. If people do not deal with stress, they may engage in unhealthy psychological games to reduce the effects of the stress. INFJs who are not coping with stress may ignore the symptoms or repress their feelings or delude themselves into thinking they are coping. The unconscious reason for this behavior is to hide their feelings from others and from themselves. The long-term effect of this behavior is that it makes it difficult for them to enter into a meaningful and honest relationship. So yeah, and it says to reduce stress, we'll often engage in some physical activity such as walking, yoga, or gardening. We need time alone to reflect and may benefit from listening to music, being near water or nature, and sharing their story with someone. To be healthy and manage our stresses, it's essential that we honor our basic needs of finding meaning and sense in our own identity, and we may find it helpful to focus on where we're making a difference in the world and the symbols of transformation that help us make sense of where we are in the world. So, yeah, that's what this book has to say about it, and yeah, it's crazy. Diving into this seems never-ending pot of gold that I'll probably be dipping my hands into for the rest of my life, so it's been really fun starting this ride, and yeah, just like I said in my other video, I would really love to hear from other INFJs, or anyone really, especially teenagers, or young adults, or whatever you want to call us. So, yeah, my video, and now I have to go to bed. I don't know if any other INFJs feel like this, or if it's just me and my weird sense of time, but I find my mind is most awake at night. Maybe because it's more calm and then all these ideas come to me, or maybe I just feel more comfortable in darkness, when I don't have to interact with people all the time. But it is an issue, because then my body wants to sleep during the day, and that's when we're meant to be doing all our thinking and functioning. But yeah, that'll be interesting to hear if anyone else feels that way. So, thanks for listening to this long rant. And maybe you found some of it helpful, hopefully. Till next time, see you, YouTube. Bye. Good night.